What's up folks, my name is Felix, welcome back to a new video. Today we want to talk about 4 different L2s which now adopted the so-called bootstrapping liquidity model. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm referring to projects like, for example, Blast. Those guys set up this whole system bootstrapping a new network by incentivizing this through yield. Then, for example, we had Manta, which also did this roughly a month after Blast set his whole campaign up. Then we saw Mode Network and also B2 Network doing this literally at the same time, just that Mode Network is another Ethereum L2 and B2 Network is a Bitcoin L2. So I want to give you a taste where my current focus is on and why the focus is on those projects. First, what did this bootstrapping campaign to those different networks? Basically, once these announcements came out, the liquidity on the networks shot through the roof. We saw it in Blast happening here, and the liquidity is now sitting at roughly 4 billion US dollars. And this is not even on mainnet yet. Yeah, there are a lot of projects building on the testnet in the so-called Big Bang competition, but it was just crazy here how fast they were able to bootstrap the liquidity on the network. Same counts for Manta New Paradigm. They announced their New Paradigm campaign in the mid of December, and from that point on, liquidity also shot through the roof. I think the network before had around 100 to 200 million funds on there, and afterwards we were sitting at 1.6 billion US dollars, and that was just because of the incentivized campaign which they launched here, which attracted a lot of people. We saw the same for Mode Network as well. They announced it in the end of January, and now the liquidity also already crossed 60 million US dollars, which we can see here on the Dune dashboard. We are sitting at over 65 million US dollars. And B2 Network is the only one here in this case which is doing this as a Bitcoin layer 2. They want to build a ZK rollup cooperating with Alt Layer for that on the Bitcoin network. And that's why I think B2 Network definitely currently has the most potential, as it is the first mover for all the Bitcoin L2s. So Manta New Paradigm and their governance token is more or less over. Yeah, you will probably get some tokens from the ecosystem projects, and that's why most of the people are still leaving their capital on this network. Mode Network, in my opinion, is a bad user experience. You have to pay 10 times the gas fees if you, for example, use ZK Sync or Manta or one of the other cheaper layer 2s. So I don't know why people should adopt Mode Network. And Blast is still on testnet. This would be my number 2. And I'm definitely farming Blast right now. Not only did I bridge 1 Ethereum around 7 days after the campaign went live, now I'm also farming extensively those Galaxy campaigns for all the Blast testnet projects currently, because I want to collect as much NFTs, as much on-chain tokens, and as much early access points as I can, because there will be, of course, a lot of new projects, a lot of new tokens once this goes on mainnet, and I want to take advantage of that. But again, my focus is on B2 Network, because I unfortunately missed this whole first rally for BRC20s. And I think B2 Network, as the first mover of the layer 2s, is now the perfect entry for all of us guys who didn't manage to get a foot in the door for all those BRC20 tokens. This is massively pushed by, for example, OKX, because OKX Ventures invested it. We have KuCoin Ventures here, we have Hashkey. So very big venture capitals are interested in pushing this, especially in the Asian market. OKX is the leading exchange when it comes to adopting BRC20s. That's what I definitely think with the investment of OKX Ventures in B2 Network, that the token will be directly listed on there. And not only that, if we jump onto their Twitter page, we can see massive adoption of other protocols. For example, we just saw Layer Bank joining the party, as you can see here in that post. Then we also have great numbers in network adoption. In the first 4 days, the TVL crossed 50 million US dollars. We have just around 8.4k users compared to the testnet where we had over 600k individual addresses. This is not even 2%. There is no listing on DeFi Llama yet. We don't have a Dune dashboard. The big influencers are not talking about it yet, and this will all come over the upcoming few days and weeks. And that should give you a better picture on how early you are. They currently still have their boost for the bus campaign ongoing, which is basically the bootstrapping event for their upcoming mainnet in the mid of February until the end of February. And you can already deposit funds onto the network. By doing that, you gain so-called mining rig parts, and those mining rig parts can later on be converted into those CPU mining rigs, which will be exchangeable into the token later on. As for example, Manta New Paradigm did it as well with their NFTs. And there are also some tasks on the testnet which you can do. So for example, just some social interaction, then deposit onto the testnet, use Meson, use GlowSwap. There will be way more of those quests in the future, but I think both of them, if it is the testnet campaign here or the bus campaign, are already a good entry point to get your foot in the door and to earn some of their governance token, which will have its token generation event probably in April this year. So just around 2.5 or 3 months to go. This is the first mover when it comes to Bitcoin layer 2s, massively supported by OKX and the whole Asian market. That's why this is my biggest bet when it comes to L2s, which adopted the system of Blast. I think that should do it for today's overview. If you want to get more information about B2 Network and the Blast testnet, what you can currently do over there, I made already several videos about that where I explain it in more detail. This is this Blast Network video and also the testnet guides for points farming on B2 Network bus. And I also explained already 9 days ago why I think B2 Network is a massively hidden airdrop gem. So if you like today's overview, would be great if you hit the like button. If you have different opinions or want to share your opinion, feel free to do it below this video. That's it for today. Thanks for watching and see you in my next one.